So I said yesterday that I think he's dead. After that point, Israel released another video of Bibi at a coffee shop. Now, everything about that video seems off. And it's funny because at some point they have him holding up his hands to show he's got 5 fingers without trying to explain at all why in a previous video he had 6 digits on each hand. It's almost like, let's just ignore that. Look, I've got 5 now. But anyhow, there's so many different indications for folks who have like kind of broken down frame by frame the whole video. Like, you know, the coffee is like actually literally spilling out of the side of the cup, but not actually spilling over the side. When he takes a sip, there is no liquid going in his mouth. I mean, there are signs. It's weird, right? Nobody knows where the coffee shop is. There's nobody else around. Nobody bothers to. I mean, there's a guy in the background who's got his back to him. Sure, you'd have your back to the you know, Netanyahu if he's in a coffee shop with you. No, you wouldn't. You'd be facing him. But also, you know, there's no press. Why is there? Where's his little press gaggle? Like, you know, if you're trying to prove that he is safe and sound, you're gonna have media with you to do that. You're gonna have media with you to capture that moment. You're gonna have media asking questions, and none of that's happening now.
מה שאלת אותי?
ראש הממשלה אומרים ברשת שאתה בכלל מת?
אני מת על קפה, אתה יודע מה? אני מת על העם שלי. איך הם מתנהגים, פנטסטי. אתה רוצה לספור את מספר אצבעות?
אתה יכול להראות לנו?
פה. פה. היית?
יפה מאוד.
לחיים.
Immediately after the news of Netanyahu getting killed was released, suddenly a press conference popped up which is very questionable and more than likely is artificial intelligence. If you know anything about AI, you know it always has problems with fingers for some reason. So does he have 6 fingers? Let's take a look. It's obvious this is his index finger. But then you look here and you see another index finger. Yeah, this looks like this video has been altered for sure. Next you see in one part of the video he has all his teeth, and in other parts he only has a few teeth on the bottom row. Clearly something fishy is going on.
One of the locations that was attacked, you can see just behind me, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who has visited this place. This is one of the locations where a deadly attack took place. 9 people were killed, and there were, in fact, more than 25 who were injured out here. You could see Netanyahu, in fact, visiting this particular location out here, and this is the latest that we are picking up.
They're reporting it. This is interesting. I looked it up as soon as you said it. The BBC is reporting it as Ben Gvir was in a car accident last night. Does that surprise you?
You know, they can report it any way they want. We know that his home is on fire, so maybe he crashed his car into his house.
That's interesting. I mean, the only reason I just can't help but be amused by this, because it would not surprise me for the BBC to provide cover for a story like this. Yeah, you and I
now know that the BBC reporters that work overseas are vetted by MI6 before they're allowed to take on their assignments.
Oh, okay. Okay, no problem at all. See you shortly, Mr. Secretary.
You can work that in.
Mr. Secretary, I have to say, it's a first, I'm sure a loss as well, that an interviewee's been pulled away to go to the Situation Room. How was the President? Was he stressed?
No, the President is in great spirits. The Iranian mission is proceeding well ahead of schedule. And you know, I have to tell you, Wolf, that I'm a teenager who's considering military service, and I could give this team my highest compliment, from President Trump to the head of the Joint Chiefs to the Secretary of War. I would say that I would trust my child's life in their hands.
And what about Bibi? Just look at the speech from the 12th, because it wasn't just the 6th finger flickering in the frame, but if you watch the teeth you'll see they blur and vanish during his speech. This is a classic sign of a generative model failing to render 3D occlusion, and even if Bibi is still operational, why did they release a statement just 24 hours later calling his status unconfirmed? Why was Scott Bessent visibly shaken, his voice trembling after being pulled from a live interview to take an urgent call from the top? It's because they are running a digital ghost to keep us compliant. They need this war taking over all media headlines to drown out the Epstein files that were finally tearing down the veil off the Predator's stage. Even a poll just confirmed that 52% of us see this for what it is, a massive, bloody distraction to keep from holding accountability. They would rather burn the world than face the evidence of their own corruption and depravity. They use cruise missiles to silence the truth, and they use AI to puppet the unalived leaders, but the people see the glitches, and we see the crumbling infrastructure. The Great Awakening isn't coming, it's here. Stop listening to the mainstream signal, and start looking at their static.
6-pointed stars ignite the night, 9 forms of power within the right. Temples align with Orion's gaze, built by hands where the old gods raise. Baphomet watches, the balance is kept, as Saturn's children settle their debt. Time is reversed, the hourglass shatters, rituals whisper the gods return thereafter. Pyramids glow with eternal fire, the priesthood gathers, their chants rise higher. Osiris' eye gazes watching unfold, with Nimrod's return